Hi. I so badly wish I didn't have to make this video. I know a lot of you already know this from either seeing my Instagram post or my YouTube community post, or even just from the title of this video. Um, but our dog Dexter passed away. He actually passed away about a month and a half ago by the time this video comes out, because it's taken this long to be able to like talk about it on camera, and it's been a month and a half, and as you can see, it's still hard to talk about, but at least I can get words out when I'm talking about it now. So I felt like it was finally time to make this video. And also, for so long I was just trying to figure out what to do or say in this video, because if you've been around the channel a long time, you know that Dexter was such a big part of the channel. He was here from the start. He was here from before the channel was even a thing. And because he was a part of the channel, so many of you got to know him and got the opportunity to love him too. In trying to figure out what to do for this video, I needed to make sure that his last video on the channel was perfect. And so after Dexter passed, Bobby had written out like Dexter's life story in the format of like a children's book, as a way that he said helped him cope right after we had lost him. And after reading it, I had the idea to turn it into like a video story, which could be a keepsake for us and for our girls and our family, but also for all of you that have like grown up with him on the channel. Or even if you're new to the channel, like, hi. Probably not the best first video to be watching. So I edited what he had wrote into like a more readable story script. And then we both sat and recorded reading it. And then we asked Emily to work her editing magic to help tell Dexter's full life story with us, for us to have forever here. Which also, thank you, Emily, for doing all this, because I would not be able to edit through videos of Dexter with our story without like having to stop to cry multiple times. So anyway, here's Dexter's story, and then afterwards I'll come back and share a little bit more about what's been going on since everything happened. I should intro it better than that. Everybody, this is Dexter's life story.
In June of 2012, a puppy was born in South Carolina. He was saved by an animal rescue organization, along with a brother and sister who were all living alone and scared inside Tupperware containers. The organization named him Scamp and loaded the 3 puppies onto a plane headed north to New York City. He was then fostered by a nonprofit that helped empower middle school girls to take a stand against injustices they cared about, particularly animal rights. This was where the puppy first experienced the love of humans, as he and his siblings got to be taken care of and loved by these young girls until they could find the perfect forever family for each of them.
One day, a young couple named Lauren and Bobby came to visit the puppies that were available for adoption. They each picked up Scamp and knew right away that he was the one they wanted to take home. The puppy licked Bobby all over his face and laid on Lauren's leg when she sat down to play with him. The puppy had these uniquely crooked, short, stubby legs and a funny personality that they just fell in love with. He was only 8 weeks old when they first met, and he was absolutely adorable.
A few days later, the young couple was allowed to pick up the puppy from his foster parent and took him home on a New York City subway. The puppy was very scared, but also felt so incredibly loved already as Bobby and Lauren held him tightly, petting him and keeping him calm. The young couple was scared too. This was their first time having to completely take care of something other than themselves together.
They brought the puppy to their small city apartment and gave him a new name that they had chosen together. "Welcome home, Dexter," they said to him. Dexter was so happy to finally have a forever home. His favorite things were to run up and down their small apartment hallway, play with all his new toys, and chew on everything, including the drywall. Dexter made a lot of friends in the big city. He went to dog parks and loved to play with all the big dogs, even though he was always the smallest among them. The young couple always said that he was like a big dog trapped in a smaller dog's body. His dad would take him for walks, but he would quickly get tired and lay down on the sidewalk, forcing him to carry Dexter all the way back home. His mom would take him for walks where he would eat mystery garbage from the street that she would have to pull out of his mouth in disgust. They all even weathered Hurricane Sandy together in that apartment.
Eventually, it was time to leave the city behind, so Dexter and his family moved to a larger apartment just outside the city. This new apartment had a lot more room for Dexter to run around, both inside and outside. It also had a big window ledge that was just big enough for him to lay on and look outside as if he were a cat. Again, he made lots of new doggy friends and made lots of new memories with his parents there.
Dexter's parents eventually got engaged, and soon after that, it was time to move again, but this time into a house. For the first time ever, Dexter now had his very own yard to run around in. He loved to chase after chipmunks and bunnies, play in the small stream nearby, go for long walks around the neighborhood, jump around in the snow, and lay outside in the sun with his parents. Soon after moving in, his parents got married, and he was so happy for them. He loved them so much, and they always had so much fun together.
Dexter got to go on so many vacations over the next few years. He went to Ocean City, Maryland, where he and his best friend Benji stayed with everyone in a tiny house near the ocean. Dexter loved going to the puppy beach, running into the ocean, and playing with all the other doggies. He went to Florida, where he went swimming in the ocean, which miraculously healed his legs that were bothering him at the time. He went to the Outer Banks in North Carolina and stayed in a huge house with lots of family. He also went on a bunch of camping trips with his dad and his friends. Dexter got to ride in a canoe while his dad paddled him down a river to a campsite. Dexter loves being outside, and he got to spend the whole day and night outside. It was his favorite thing ever.
Dexter also started to become famous. His mom, Lauren, or Lauren Z Side, was slowly becoming a popular YouTuber, and she loved to show Dexter in her videos. Dexter also loved being in Mommy's videos, doing all sorts of funny things. This is also where Dexter developed a love for destroying cardboard boxes. Lauren's new YouTube career suddenly allowed Dexter to spend all day, every day with his parents, as they no longer had to go to work away from home every day. This made Dexter so incredibly happy, and his parents were so grateful that they could spend so much more time together with him.
But sometimes Dexter's parents did have to go away on trips due to her new YouTube career, so he got to spend time at both his grandparents' houses where he loved getting walks and playing with each of their dogs, Benji and Nola. Dexter loved to visit his grandparents and spend time with his doggy family members. Unfortunately though, they each were much older than Dexter, and they each eventually crossed the Rainbow Bridge, which made him really sad. But then he got to make a new friend, named Abby, that his grandparents adopted. Dexter loved playing with Abby.
Once again, it was time to move. This time, Dexter moved into a bigger house up on a hill, with a new yard to explore and more of his favorite long walks around his new neighborhood, going up and down hills. He especially loved going on his daily morning walks with his dad. This time, Dexter's new house didn't have any puppy neighbors, but he made some new human friends, including a man named James who came to their new house almost every day to help his parents work out and get lots of doggy kisses. He and his parents also experienced a pandemic together in this new house, as well as their first health scare with Dexter, who got pancreatitis and had to stay overnight at an animal hospital. Dexter's parents were so scared, but he made it through.
One day while living at his house, Dexter's parents left to go to the hospital, and after a couple days came back with a baby. Dexter loved his new little sister Melody. He would always lay near Melody to watch over and protect her. As soon as she got older, he followed her around, played with her, got fed snacks by her, and loved laying in her bed with her.
Then, a couple years later, it was once again time to move. This time to a house on the water. He once again had lots of new puppy neighbors, as well as some new swan neighbors, and was so happy to be in his new home with his family. One day, Dexter's parents once again left to go to the hospital and came back with a new baby girl named Madison. Dexter loved his new baby sister and immediately wanted to watch over and protect her, just like he did with Melody.
A few months later, Dexter started to lose a lot of weight and wasn't seeming like himself. So he went to the doggy doctor, and when he got home, his parents seemed very sad and told him that he was very sick. He slowly started to not feel so good, but he still loved playing with his little sisters and going for walks. So his parents took such good care of him to make sure they did everything they could to keep him feeling as good as possible for as long as possible. Bobby spent hours cooking him special meals, and his parents both gave him daily medicines and IV fluids to keep him feeling good. They carried him up and down the stairs and woke up with him multiple times throughout the night to carry him outside to go to the bathroom. Dexter got to see just about all of his friends and family in his last few months, but eventually he got very sick, and he had a hard time eating and walking. He no longer could or wanted to do the things he loved most.
Dexter spent his last day surrounded by his family, eating small bits of his favorite foods and getting so many pets and kisses. His last night, though, was very tough. He was feeling very sick, and he nor his parents could sleep all night. His mom and dad kept taking him outside, carrying him in and out all night long. Dexter and his dad even laid in the grass outside as the sun came up on that foggy morning because he seemed the most at peace out there. In the morning, he came inside. He said goodbye to his sister Melody before she went to school, and Madison before she went to take her nap. Then Dexter's favorite doggy doctor came to the house, and while his parents held and kissed him, he joined his friends Benji and Nola to cross the Rainbow Bridge.
Dexter was the best dog Lauren and Bobby could have ever asked for. He was there throughout their entire relationship, through countless new homes, through their wedding, and eventually through them becoming parents. He was so incredibly loved by his family and friends, and even by millions of complete strangers all around the world, thanks to Lauren's YouTube channel. People own toys, shirts, hoodies, and even pins of Dexter. Dexter was a one-of-a-kind dog. He was our buddy boy, and we will love him and miss him forever.
Oh, hey, it's emotional Lauren back. Yay. I honestly feel like I can't put into words like how awful the last couple months and weeks leading up to and after Dexter's passing were for Bobby and I, like mentally and physically. Oh, wait, no, hold on. I can show you. I wear like the Aura ring. It's supposed to show your like how well physically you're doing, like your sleep and your stress and your heart rate. And as you can see, this is when he started like not doing great through Halloween. Solid, it's like your nighttime, your daytime, and then how much stress, which was just always high. And then we got to, I think about here, yep, is like Thanksgiving. And that's when he like really started going downhill, and I got really sick at the same time. And I have never seen my ring so low. This is where like when the day he passed, then you can see it just kind of like flatlined, and then slowly but surely has gone up, and with just me trying to like focus on taking care of myself. And now it's all the way up here for anybody that's worried. Doing much better, but I was not. Like, if you want to read all of the details of exactly what happened from like October through when he passed in December, I will link in the description either my YouTube community post or my Instagram. They're both the same, written out like exactly what happened if you want to know the details of it. In summary, the reality of what was going on was Bobby and we basically just had to watch Dexter like slowly deteriorate in front of us for months. Somebody told me that like you should, even if it's painful to watch later, take photos or videos of how bad they look at the end so that it kind of brings you peace when they do pass, because you can remind yourself of how bad they were doing and that now they're hopefully doing better in a better place. But I have a video of like how bad he was on his last day, and he could like barely walk. We had to carry him everywhere. He didn't want to eat anything. And it was like that, like on and off for months, where he would have a good day and we'd be hopeful, and then he'd have a bad day and we'd be like, maybe this is it. And it was just like a roller coaster of not making plans and not doing anything because we didn't know what things were going to be like on a given day. And then like he required so much care. What the post will tell you in detail is like he was diagnosed with kidney disease in like September, and then and he was doing okay. And then by September or October, he started going downhill, and then he really went downhill like right around Thanksgiving. We had to do medications and administer IVs like daily. We had to take him out multiple times at night. We had to carry him everywhere. And then that was on top of like having a 4-month-old baby when this all started. Melody, who's a toddler who also needs us all the time. And then I was like still making YouTube content. Hopefully, it seems like nobody noticed while I was making YouTube content through like October and November. And actually, one of the moments I realized like I was feeling so incredibly down and low was I was like not wanting to make YouTube content because I was just so, I mean, like falling apart even before he passed. And Bobby was like, your friend Gloom came back after like 3 years. Corey Kenshin just came back after a year. Like, you could take a break and then come back. And my immediate response to him, where my brain went, was, yeah, but that's different. Like, nobody would care if I left and then came back. And that's why I was still making content, because I thought nobody would care if I didn't make videos anymore. And that's when I was like, I was really not in a good place. And then we even like hosted a holiday. I was getting ready I had to get Christmas ready for the kids. By the time like he actually passed, we were just so incredibly sleep deprived and depressed and just constantly getting sick. I mean, I don't want to speak for Bobby, but like I literally felt like I was drowning, or like I would go up to Bobby and just be like, I feel like I'm dying. I don't know. He would just be like, you're not. It's just a lot. And then when we finally lost Dexter, I think it like just broke me, because I was already in a bad place and I knew it was coming, but it still like hit hard because we lost a part of our family. He was with us through our entire relationship, and our whole young adult lives. Everything that led up to like where we are now, he was with us. So it's so weird that he's not here. Like, we don't even remember life without him. We miss seeing him in like his favorite spots, or coming to greet us when we go home, or just barking at neighbors. Like, I could go on about like all the things that we'll miss.
Hi everyone, Bobby here. Excuse my voice, I have the flu and I'm trying to get over that. I just wanted to come on and just say that honestly, if you're watching this video, I appreciate you, because without YouTube and being able to work from home since mid 2017, we wouldn't have had pretty much the second half of Dexter's life to be with him pretty much every day. So thank you for allowing us to have this job and do this and spend as much time as we got to spend with Dexter. His last 2 to 3 months were pretty rough. He had pancreatitis. He got diagnosed with that in 2020, and since then we had been giving him a special diet. Once we moved, kind of noticed that he was starting to lose a little bit of weight. So I don't know when it started, but he basically got kidney disease, and he got diagnosed, I believe it was August when we brought him. And we tried everything. We tried food that the vets recommended, and I cooked him all sorts of food, and some days he would eat it, some days he wouldn't, but did everything we could. We were giving him IVs twice a day and other medications, so we did everything we could. The past, well, it's been a little over a month now. It's literally felt like starting a new life. 12 and a half years of Dexter. He was a part of everything we did, every little thing, every big thing. And now just not having him here, it's been really tough. Personally, for me, I've just been trying to distract myself as best I can, spending time with Lauren and the girls and friends and family. And I got into pickleball lately and been trying to do that a lot just to not think about it. I don't have any regrets. Obviously, wish we had caught it sooner. I don't think there's too much more we could have done. Wish I had brought him to the beach one time. We moved and we're close to the beach. I wish I'd brought him, but between the move and Madison being born and just adjusting, I just never did it. It's my only regret, so I feel pretty good about that. We did a lot of stuff with Dexter Boy. I just wanted to give a big thank you to my parents for watching him his whole life when we would travel and move, and to Lauren's parents for watching him as well, and all our friends and family for being a part of his life and just being there for him, especially in the last couple months. I had some friends come and visit,
who were a big part of Dexter's life. So it was really tough, like I said, but we did the right thing. And as hard as it'll be to not think about the end, try to focus on all the good times we had with him. So thank you to everybody for allowing us to spend as much time as we did with Dexter, and just wanted to say thank you. So I'll miss you, Dexter. I'll see you again someday, buddy.
Another layer of this was that we had to navigate like death and loss with a 4-year-old or almost 4-year-old. Dexter was like her best friend. As you can see from all the clips, like she was heartbroken when she found out. And like at 4, you don't, or 3.5, you don't understand death or like the finality of it, really. Like she understands that like when something dies, like they're not, you can't see them anymore. But literally like every night, like still it's a month and a half out, and every night we put her to bed, she like says that she misses him. And so we gave her one of the Dexter plushies. The day he passed that night, we like gave it to her and told her that like she could hold him that way. So every night we like make it a routine where she says like she misses him, we give her the plushie. But literally we're like dealing with our own grief, and then we have like a 4-year-old asking us like why we can't use magic to bring him back, and like giving us scenarios of like how we can maybe bring Dexter back with magic because she had seen it somewhere, or just like asking us why he had to die. Like literally yesterday, again, she asked like, why did Dexter get sick? So it's just like, it's like you're doing okay, and then you get like a wholesome question from your kid who doesn't understand, and you like realize how confusing and like sad they must be about it. So it's just like another thing we had to navigate and just feel bad about that she was also dealing with it. I know the bulk of this video I tried to make positive with his life story, have Emily edit it cute. But I do want to try and leave this video on a positive note. Like I said, like Bobby and I are doing much better. Also, I thought at first, like it happening right before Christmas and the holidays, that it would be terrible for us. I mean, like we didn't get to enjoy Christmas as much as we usually get to, for sure, especially the lead up to Christmas. But it was definitely a good distraction, and it definitely helped us heal, not just constantly be dwelling on it, because we had to pull through and make Christmas awesome for our kids. We've been eating better, we've been exercising and sleeping through the night most nights, except for last night. Coincidentally, we've been spending like a lot more time taking care of ourselves after everything. I've slowly finally wanted to start making videos again, and we've just been spending more time with friends and family, which has been really helping. And to answer the next question that I know a lot of you are going to ask or have, no, we are not getting a new dog anytime soon. Like it's still so soon. We still need time to grieve. We don't want to compare another dog to him. It's not fair, like this early on. And we still have a baby. Like Madison is still a ton of work and is going to probably be crawling very soon. So I think I need a little bit less responsibility for a little bit, and a little bit less change. We like moved, and we had a baby, and Dexter passed. Like those are 3 huge life changes with our family in a year's time, and I just need some consistency, I think. So we will definitely get another dog down the road. Like we want that for our family, we want that for us. I know they say like the best way to honor like a dog that you had that passed is to get another one eventually, to give them like the same amazing life that your dog that passed had. So we want to do that to Grim, even though it's gonna suck to go through this again. Like it was worth it. Obviously, anybody that has owned a dog and lost a dog knows that in the end, like it's worth this this terrible feeling at the end. I think losing Dexter has been like a huge wake-up call for me that I really needed. For one, it reminded me how much I appreciate, I mean, I already appreciate all of you so much. I know I say it a lot, but it reminded me how much I appreciate all of you for giving me this job that basically allowed us to be home with Dexter all day, every day for like the last half of his life, the last 6 or 7 years of his life, and especially the last couple weeks of his life, like having to care for him as much as we did. If we both had jobs not at home, I don't think he would have lived as long as he did with us constantly being there to take care of him. Thank you guys so much for giving that to Dexter, that he had us here all the time and when he needed us the most. And thank you for giving us that. It made me realize I was not taking care of myself like at all. I was going through some health problems. I'm still getting checked out. I've revamped like my diet and my exercise and just everything because it was getting scary with how terrible my body was feeling and falling apart. And it reminded me how much I love and appreciate my husband for all of his support through this and all he did for Dexter and the family. And it reminded me that like how well we work through things together. We were in the thick of it between like, yeah, new house, a new baby, and our dog slowly dying. So on top of that, it reminded me how much I love just our little family unit and spending time together. That's what I tried to do as much as possible. Like knowing that Dexter didn't like had limited time left. I was just trying to like not be working as much as I possibly could just to like be together, because I knew that our family, the way that it wasn't gonna had an end date. And lastly, it reminded me how much I loved something, or I love something, and how amazing that feeling is above everything else. A lot of people would comment and be like, that's why I'll never get another pet or another dog, because like I can't go through the hurt. But I would never give up all the time that I had with Dexter to not feel like this. So I understand why some people said that, but it reminded me that like it's worth it to love something so much that it makes you hurt so much when it's gone. I loved Dexter so incredibly much. I know you guys did too, and our family. He was the first dog that like I ever got to adopt myself and take care of. Ever since I was a kid, that's all I've ever asked for. And like, I will say this with certainty, like no other dog is ever going to compare to him. He was the best. And not to say that any other dog that we get in the future won't come close, but no dog is ever going to be like, he was like our first dog. He was our first kind of like kid in a way. And if we, or when we get another dog, it's going to be like our family dog. It's going to be, I don't know, different. Still loved and everything. It's just different. Dexter was legitimately a member of our family, and absolutely everything we did at home involved him in some way. The last thing I just want to say is that we're so incredibly lucky to have been able to love him and give him the home that like he deserved. Thank you if you made it all the way to this part of the video. I'm so sorry that this was super sad, but I don't know how else to make it not be. And yeah, I will see you in happier times, hopefully, in my next upload. I love you all so much, and I'm so sorry if you're also sad and grieving, but I also appreciate that you cared that much also.